this is the drill that I'm using to get more rotation in my hips and to actually start my downswing with my hips, with my lower body, rather than getting a little bit stuck, a little bit stalled out. Because I've learned recently, I've been using HackMotion, which is a brilliant wrist sensor, and it tells you when you're in too much extension or flexion at address, at the top of your swing, and then at impact. And I've been consistently, we're talking like in the 90% mark, overextended at impact. So the equivalent of that would be looking like it's too cupped, rather than we want to be here at impact. And so to work on this, rather than get stuck on thinking about, okay, well then I need to think something in my wrists, I thought if I can get to the root cause and fix that, then hopefully that will mean that I can have a better impact position, but also have more of a stable club face, because that's been my main challenge lately as I've been making these changes to my swing and changing my swing path, going from a little bit out to in to out. I've just noticed that overextension, if I get rid of the stick here, that cupping at impact has led to a couple of things. Either a very high and out to the right miss, which I can see with driver as well, driver irons everything, or if I've managed to, say, swing on the inside but not get my hips out the way, I've been getting stuck and then flipping. So I've then started seeing some real out to the left shots, which you might have seen in some of my videos so far, those real kind of pulley numbers as I turn the club over at impact. So this is the drill that I'm using to work on this, and I'm using it to give me feedback in a couple of ways, because if I come into the downswing and I'm cupping, if I'm not clearing my hips out the way, the stick is going to hit me in the side, and I don't want that. So to really focus on getting those hips clearing, it's just giving me that added incentive to get my hips back out the way, really feeling like the left bum cheek is taking place of the right bum cheek, to then clear and make sure that that stick isn't going to be hitting me in the side, which is obviously the ideal. But on top of this, the reason that I'm loving this drill at the minute is I feel like it's an all-in-one. It's been covering quite a few things that I've been working on in my swing, my takeaway, the top of the swing, the turn, and then now really getting that rotation in the hips for the downswing. Because with its length of this stick, I can also, even though it feels a little bit odd to hold it down the side of the shaft here, I know that if I'm getting my takeaway in a good position, the stick should be close, if not brushing, my left leg. If I'm getting a little bit rolly, which I've struggled with, I would start to see that stick move away from me. So we've got that. Step one of this drill is helping keep that takeaway, the club outside and my hands inside, and then turning. So I'm really trying, once I've got to here, to use the chest to complete the turn, to have more of that connected backswing. Because again, my overswing and a little bit of overextension cupping at the top comes from when I've completed my turn, but my arms seem to carry on for some reason. They're eager, they want to keep going. So I'm really focusing in on that takeaway move, that turn, and then here we get to the magic, the downswing. This is what we want, the hips. So now my real focus is building awareness of getting to here, and then the hips being the driving force of that downswing. And as we can see, when I do that, the arms move into a much better spot anyway. And then the key is to just keep rotating through, because again, if I was to get to here and stall and let my arms carry on, I'm going to hit myself with the stick. So it's really helpful to just train with that physical feedback, that little moment of getting to here, hips going, getting to here, hips going. And I mean, it does touch your side a little bit, but at least it's not clattering me in the side. It's more that real visual, but also physical feedback of clearing the hips out. And to add to this, I'm now going to have a go with HackMotion. So I'm going to get the app up. What's brilliant about the sensor is it doesn't have to just work when you're hitting balls. It works with dry drills as well. Get it going on the flat wrist, and then you move it like this to check it's in position, and straight away I can start to see extended, flexed, extended, flexed. And so I'm too much like this way at impact, and we want to be a little bit more this way to just start to get that compression and that real consistent impact position, so we can start to rely on hopefully hitting some straight shots and maybe get a little bit more distance out of it as well. So now I can just start to see that that sensor's connected. And what I'm going to do is just use this even as a dry drill at home, getting out in the garden, getting the stick in here, and really trying to build that feeling and match that feeling to the feedback. So I then know if I'm executing the feeling well, step one is that I'm not going to hit myself with the stick. Step two is that with the HackMotion I can see what it's looking like at impact, but also at the top of my swing as well, which is going to hopefully be better because I'm going to stick short and then build my way out. So I'm going to really start from impact out and just start with small swings, getting that set, feeling that drive with the hips, and kind of build from there. So let's give it a go and see what we can do. Here we go. So even that one, that's telling me that I'm better at the top because it's a shorter swing, but I'm still extended at impact. So even though I'm doing the drill, that tells me I need to do that move more. So let's see if we can try and get that into the green. It's not picking up all my swings here. Maybe I do need to be hitting a ball. So the feeling is really driving with that hip. So that's better. That's showing me that we're in the yellow now. So we were in the red before, in the yellow now. Double green. So that felt like really getting the hips going first. So I've hit a couple here and it's not picked me up. So I've been trying to get the sensor to pick me up, I think, because I'm coming out the rough. But I just thought if I do this on grass rather than on a mat, we can actually see as well that the low point, which a signal of the overextension at impact, is that my low point can sometimes be behind the ball. So getting turf and then ball. What we want to be doing is ball and then turf. So at least here, what I can start to see, even from the shots where the sensor hasn't necessarily picked me up, because obviously I'm not actually hitting a ball, that's when it works best. But I just thought I'd give it a go to see if it helps me with the data in some dry drills. But the other part of data that I can get here is seeing that all of the kind of grass that's gone away here out of the rough is from the low point on, which is progress for me. So I'm going to keep going with this drill, keep really trying to exaggerate the feelings that got us into the green, which for me is just that feeling that when I'm at the top, I already start the downswing with my hips, starting small and expanding out to a full swing. So let me know if you'll be giving this drill a go in the comments below, and I'll see you there.